Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the meeting of the Plan Commission for January 16th, 2020. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion approved. Motion to second. Motion to second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Minutes have been approved. For anybody in the audience who are here for cases 2019 46P, 47P, 50P, actually case 2019 46P, the subdivision, has been withdrawn by the petitioner, and cases 2019 and 2019 47P and 50P through 50P will be rescheduled to February 6th. So if anybody's here tonight for those cases, they have been rescheduled. Okay. Therefore, our next case is case 2019-51P, the site plan approval of 5255 Lincoln Avenue and 8341 Lockwood Avenue. And do we have the petitioner here tonight? Please come up. Right up to the podium. Sorry. We'll step up to the microphone, please. Thank you. Could I have your name and your relationship to the petitioner? Yes. Okay. Is this microphone on? Okay. Would you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
My name is Andrew Josie. I'm with Green Associates. We're the architect for the township, and I am representing on their behalf tonight.
Okay. Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you affirm the testimony you give tonight is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes.
Good. Counselor, is there notice in order?
Their notice is proper and correct.
Thank you. Okay, sir, go ahead.
Sure. Is there a presentation, or can I put a document on the overhead?
Yeah.
Should just be able to turn it on.
Sir, if you just stepped in tonight, we're listening to the case 2019-51P. Previous cases have been rescheduled. So are you here for this case, or?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can just proceed and explain it. If you have the plans in front of you, then I'll just refer to those.
Is it on now?
There
It goes. Okay.
You can lift the microphone up just a
Oh,
little.
certainly.
There you go. That'll be better.
Okay.
Technology channel.
I think can you use
Always.
overhead now?
Put on the document there.
All
There it
right.
is. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Tyler.
So
That works through there.
the Niles Township government is requesting an addition to their food pantry building to accommodate additional storage. Also accommodate proper circulation and safety materials processing on the east side of their food pantry building, which is here. The addition would allow the food pantry to better serve the community by offering a wider variety of product, and then also, again, improve the processes within the building itself. The spaces where they do the storage and the materials processing, preparing packages for delivery is very cramped, and at the moment there isn't proper circulation inside. The other component of that is an interior pallet storage, which is a requirement of the Chicago Food Depository. If they can comply with an interior pallet storage, then they're allowed to, then the depository will pick up, I think it's twice a week, and then reduce the number of pallets stored on the site, which I know the village has had an issue with as well. We are also, the addition will replicate the finishes, scale, and profile of the existing buildings, so we'll be respecting the setback along Washington Street, The finishes on the building will just extend across to the addition. There's currently an exterior freezer here that will be enclosed in the addition and become part of the building. We are also requesting relief for additional 2 parking spaces for the additional square footage. We don't anticipate any additional staff or additional visitors to the building because of this. And I believe there was a response in the staff recommendations requesting that be approved. In my statement, there was a question about the community garden here. I'll just start in with the items that were in question. There was a question as to what was going to happen with the community garden here. The township has not decided yet whether that's just going to be half the size or perhaps turn that into a butterfly/migration, like a wildlife migration garden. But that will remain a garden. Small. There is an ongoing easement revision to our plat of survey, and that relates to the water and sewer division questions here. Our detention potentially serves part of what is now Shore's property, but the storm line that exits the property goes onto their property, so it's kind of a reciprocal relationship, and that's in progress. We are currently getting an updated title certificate, so we get current easements, and we'll work with the township's attorney to work with Shore and get an agreement with that. So that's in progress. Forestry division questions were about disturbing of any trees will be disturbed. We do not anticipate any trees to be affected by the work. Acknowledge the requirement that the freezer make and model be provided. That's fine. We discussed the pallets. We discussed the spaces, the parking spaces. There was a comment regarding the planting plan, the landscaping plan that we specified our leatherleaf mahonia, which is not appropriate for the hardiness zone. So we will change that. And there is also a requirement to install a R7-I101 sign below the existing R78 handicap parking sign, and we will do that. Notes regarding the Appearance Commission, we've already incorporated into the design and are scheduling that meeting. And then we move on to the staff recommendations, which summarize what we've discussed. So that is my presentation.
Good. Commissioner Quinn?
This addition has been sorely needed, and sorely needed for some time now,
Yes.
because it is a pretty tight situation, especially on special days at the pantry. Is this new addition, is there a water retention requirement? Can you speak to that?
Sure. So our engineer will be submitting their drawings to your engineering department. In their preliminary analysis, they're going to take advantage of the newer WMO ordinance infiltration methods. So our intention is to do landscaping within the detention area. If the detention needs to be enlarged, it will be enlarged, but we're hoping that it will be offset by the newer infiltration methods.
A question about the use. In the past, have we turned away consumers because we didn't have enough room to serve them, or was it that we turned away donated goods and we didn't have enough room to take in those donated goods?
A little bit of both. For the storage room, one of the primary issues has been the speed at which they can do materials processing, and also they don't have space, so they are turning away food, which then does affect how many people they can serve.
So this will do both. It will allow us to
both.
take in more food and serve more people.
Correct.
Any other questions of the petitioner? Okay, thank you very much. We'll have the staff present its report to the
right.
commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
The staff being Matt Brandmeier.
Do I need to swear in?
No.
My name is Matt Brandmeier. I'm the Community Development Director. And I have all this written down. So I respectfully request the staff report be submitted into the record as presented.
Granted.
Thank you. Not much to add from what the applicant spoke to. Oh, you took the... Yeah, if you don't mind. So I think the most notable parts of the request, it is a 1,500 square foot request, which will bring those pallets into the building. They're currently stored outside. The other part in regard to the parking relief, staff supports that. They're going to be 2 spaces short. They are repaving or kind of restriping their parking area to gain 2 additional spaces, which will get them closer. Still 2 spaces short, but we don't see an issue as far as the use or the demand of the building. Overall, staff recommends approval of the request, and we ask that the conditions of approval be incorporated into the ordinance. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of staff?
I have one question about the pallets. So the pallets, is the Skokie requirement that there be so many or so few pallets per day on site, or is it that they all be stored inside and not outside?
Yeah, generally, it just says to store them inside. Obviously, through an operation, you can have things in and out of the building, but
But never outside, and that's the whole,
Not
part of the
overnight.
purpose of this is to bring everything inside.
that's correct, not on any kind of permanent basis. So, yeah, this will resolve that, and we're looking forward to seeing that.
Any other questions of staff? Okay. Thank you, Matt. Okay, is there anybody in the audience who has a question or a comment on this case? Anyone? Comments, questions? No?
Paul, I have another question of the petitioner.
Yes. Would the petitioner please come up?
As mentioned earlier, this is an opportunity to bring in more food, probably especially the fresh variety, and then also serve more individuals. Is the interior space, overall interior space, the new addition and what's currently there, is that going to be redesigned with this new opportunity? Because I know also their space is very small for people inside the building who are waiting to do their pickups.
Sure.
And some
So-
people end up outside, in inclement weather even.
Yes. So what their intention is, and Rick may be able to help me with this a little bit, but they want to process longer duration of the day so they can serve more people that way. But also they have they have their set packages that they provide people, but they also have a second component called client choice, which allows them to provide people with fresh food or donations. And so that area kind of resides in, geographically resides between the storage area and the usual area that the clients come in and wait and then move through. So that area will be expanded upon to allow more of those client choice items to be available. Because as you mentioned, as you're kind of getting at, as they are able to accommodate more donations, they'll be able to accommodate more of that client choice. So that has to be a component part of this.
Any other questions of the petitioner? Okay. Thank you very
Right.
much.
Thank you.
I'll move for a motion. Scott, second, thank you.
To approve and
To approve as presented, with the conditions as presented.
Thank you. Okay. Call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell is absent. Commissioner Quain,
Aye.
Commissioner Scott Berman,
Aye.
Commissioners Villegas,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Lex Potty, Commissioner Scott Berman, excuse me, Jeff Berman. Commissioner Matei is absent, and I'll vote aye. Motion passes. This still has to go before the Board of Trustees. They meet on the first and third Mondays of every month, and I'm sure you'll be notified when that case will come before the board. If anybody wants a copy of the report,